My apologies for the long intro there, but it's nearly Christmas and I thought I'd indulge myself. Now, just to let you know, I've uploaded today's video. I'll also be uploading a video on Friday, but then I'll be taking a break until Friday the 3rd of January over the Christmas period. I've not actually had any time off since last Christmas. I'm tired. I need a little bit of a break. And I dare say that with the holiday season upon us, most people will be focused on the families, the home life, and playing with their new toys. I certainly will. Now, a couple of weeks ago, MOTONE Customs had their annual Black Friday sales. And as usual, these sales only run for 3 or 4 days. And it became quite evident that quite a few people missed it because they weren't aware that the sale was on. And by the time they'd sort of watched my video telling them that the sale was on, the sale had actually finished. Now, there were no complaints as such, it was just people expressing the disappointment. Now, MOTONE make a number of universal custom parts that are suitable for the Royal Enfield Interceptor. And I've already fitted 1 or 2, but it was my intention in the new year to start looking at some of the other MOTONE universal parts for the Interceptor. And early last week I was talking to Sam about this, which we'll get onto later in this video. And this Black Friday sale thing came up in conversation. Sam mentioned that he'd had a few emails from people sort of expressing that they were disappointed they'd missed the sale. And I mentioned that I'd had very similar feedback through the comments and through emails. And Sam said that it would like to do something to try and sort of make it up to those people. Now, apparently this channel is mentioned all the time when he's dealing with customers, so he's well aware that viewers of this channel do represent part of his customer base. And in recognition of that, Sam expressed that he wanted to do something to sort of pay the channel back and pay the channel's viewers back for the loyalty over the last 2 or 3 years. And what he came up with was this. Now, he can't repeat the Black Friday deals, the 22% discount, because as he explained to me, it represents more or less cost price. It's something that it can really only do once a year. So what he proposed is this. Starting from today until Sunday, that's Sunday the 22nd of December, MOTONE has launched a special Christmas sale which is exclusive to this channel with a very respectable 12% off. Now, as I say, that is a very respectable discount. I've been looking at a lot of the Christmas sales and most companies are only offering like 15% maximum anyway. The way Sam explained it to me is make your selection, then when you get to the checkout, use the code XMAS12, and I'll leave that code in the video description down below. Now, a couple of days later, Sam contacted me again. He'd been mulling it over and he wanted to offer more to this channel's viewers. As you may be aware, MOTONE do now have a line of merchandise, t-shirts, hats, that kind of thing. And what Sam decided he would like to do is offer a MOTONE hat free of charge with every purchase. And that's either the beanie type hat, which actually I wear all the time, especially in this cold weather, especially when I'm out filming, or one of the baseball caps. Now, the way he explained it to me is put one of these in your basket, and then if you put in the code UNCLESTU at the checkout, it will deduct the cost of that hat from your total. Now, I'm really chuffed about this because I feel as though, you know, the influence of this channel is starting to take off a little bit and I'm able to give something back to the viewers. And I think it's a true reflection of the kind of people that MOTONE Customs are as well, in that they want to show their appreciation both to this channel and to this channel's viewers. And once again, I'll leave that code in the video description down below. Right, moving on. Right, a lot of people tend to think of MOTONE Customs as being a Triumph parts company. And granted, the bulk of their product range has grown up around the air-cooled and the water-cooled twins. But they do also have a range of universal parts that will actually fit a multitude of bikes. Because by and large, motorcycle manufacturers tend to use some standard components which have standard measurements across the industry. I've already fitted MOTONE's famous rubber tank pads. I've also fitted their brass franking bobbins, their aero rack, and of course their up and over bar risers. But that by no means represents their entire universal range that would apply to the Interceptor. Now, Christmas came early for me this year, and at the end of last week I received a lovely box from MOTONE of delectable custom motorcycle parts that are going to form part of a series in the new year as I gradually adapt and alter the Interceptor. And what I wanted to do today is sort of go through them. The Interceptor has been neglected in recent weeks because I felt as though I was sort of ignoring my Triumph viewers. So I went back over to some sort of Triumph related content, and the Interceptor's been put on a back burner. The Royal Enfield Interceptor's indicators are an item that gets a lot of criticism levelled at them. Personally, I don't mind them as such, but I understand where people are coming from, and they don't suit the sort of look that I like. And I did decide right from the start that they were going to be changed for some MOTONE items. Now, MOTONE have one particular design in a variation of colours, and I fitted a pair of their brushed aluminium finish indicators to the T100 project a couple of years ago. Now, these indicators are CNC machined from billet. They are a really high quality, heavy duty item, simply light years ahead of the sort of Chinese stuff that you tend to see on eBay, that kind of thing. Now, this particular set marks the beginning of a new range for MOTONE Customs, part of what they call their JPS range. Now, the John Player Special racing teams of the late 1960s, early 1970s were famous for their colourways of black and gold. And these new indicators incorporate an anodised black body with a solid brass bezel. These are not LED indicators, the standard incandescent bulbs, but the bulbs themselves are very high quality German amber bulbs, and the indicators come with a choice of two lenses. You can either use the clear or you can use the standard vintage look amber lenses. These indicators are something really special, but I am going to have to make some other modifications to the bike to make this work. Now, the current factory mounts for indicators on the Interceptor won't accept these universal indicators straight out of the box, although I have seen quite a lot of examples of people making them fit with a few alterations. I like things to be reversible so that when it comes to selling your bike, or if it comes to you selling your bike, you can simply return it to its original state and keep the custom parts either to put on your next bike or to sell on and recoup some of your money. So for mounting these at the front, I've chosen MOTONE's 41mm indicator fork clamp. Again, super high quality CNC machined aluminium, and again I've used these before on the T100 project. I think on the T100 I used the polished aluminium. These are the anodised black aluminium version, and it simply clamps onto the fork stanchions for the MOTONE indicators to mount straight on. Now at the rear, and this is the only grey area I've got in this build, what I intend using at the moment are MOTONE's shock mounted clamps. Now the only grey area that I've got here is I'm not sure whether the standard shocks are going to interfere with actually fitting these, and I am in any case going to have to source an alternative Allen bolt because the standard shock bolts are domed. I think I used the brush aluminium version on the T100, and I think that these were the first high pressure die cast parts that MOTONE introduced some time ago. So that's the indicators hopefully sorted out. Now, the last two items that I've got planned for the moment. First of all, the headlamp bracket. MOTONE's CNC machined headlamp brackets are legendary. Again, I've used them in the past, and so do a lot of the influential custom bike builders. These are CNC machined from one solid billet of high-grade aluminium. I've had a set on the T100 for 2 years now, and I cannot fault them. Now, I suppose the main reason for changing these is that the indicator mounts on the original headlamp brackets are going to leave it looking a bit odd. And again, the original headlamp brackets are something which I hear coming in for a lot of criticism. The problem this does leave me with, however, is the Royal Enfield fly screen. It mounts in two places on either side, and obviously this bracket won't allow that. Now, if you remember a couple of weeks ago I showed you the Quicksilver version of the MOTONE Customs air blade. They also make the micro blade, which is a shortened anodised black version of the air blade. I've already got one, so I thought it would be rude not to use it. Now, I'm not trying to persuade you to make the same sort of conversion that I'm making. I think what I want to demonstrate with this little mini-series, if that's what you want to call it, is that MOTONE do make some universal parts which are appropriate for other bikes, and that with a little bit of time, money and ingenuity, using some of the best custom parts currently available, you can make your Interceptor stand out from the crowd. Now, I will be biting this off in small chunks. I'm not just going to go into the whole conversion all at once. And I will, of course, be looking at parts from other manufacturers, especially where the exhausts are concerned. I have encountered some problems sourcing suitable silencers. I will be kicking this mini-series off in January, and I sincerely hope that the viewers that have been following me over the last 6 months or so are going to join me to see what the Interceptor can become. Now, I'll leave a link to MOTONE's website in the video description down below. I'll also leave comprehensive instructions there on how to use the codes for the complimentary hats and for your 12% discount in MOTONE's Christmas sale. Once again, thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate the time that people put aside to help this channel grow. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back on Friday, the last video of this year. So until then, ride safely and I'll see you soon.